Hello one and all, my name is John and this is part 2 of Tarot Journeys concerning the Fool. The reason I'm doing a part 2 on the Fool card is because of the expansive nature of it. Aleister Crowley did 24 pages, I think yes 24, in the Book of Thoth. So little old me here, it's worth a two-parter. The Fool card itself is a lot more than words can describe. Therefore, it's heavily steeped in symbology. It is a card that holds so much information and changes every time it touches something related to a situation. Therefore, the meanings of the Fool are infinite. The Hebrew letter to the Fool is Aleph. Now, Aleph means ox. Now, the reason for the ox is because of the ability to carry the responsibility and burdens in life, and also the tenacity to carry them out. Also, Aleph means silence. The zero is silence. Everything comes out of the silence, comes out of the zero. I talked about in part 1 and used 3 analogies for describing the zero nothingness concept. I will do a more practical explanation of the Fool in action in this video, that in a little while. The Fool's traits are the unfathomable, the unpredictable, the undefinable, the mystical, the mysterious, the hadn't planned this, hadn't planned that, can't believe this, can't believe that. The Americans call it a curved ball. We call it a spanner in the works. It's something that wasn't accounted for that is suddenly upon us. This is the Fool in action, and I will give this analogy to describe that in a little while. The Fool's or the Fool card is very often fatalistic, and I don't necessarily mean by that grim, foreboding, disheartening, life-threatening. It can mean that there are challenges that must be met for karmic reasons, and the spanner in the works is the only way to bring it about, if you like. But it can also be for good karma and situations that become favourable to you. So the fatalistic tones are along those lines. But with the Fool, the idea is to always meet these challenges and on life's road with an open heart and innocence, and I suppose with a joy and acceptance of life's road and whatever it throws up at you. I know this is a very hard, bitter pill to swallow, and for a lot of people will be sitting there saying, ease off his trolley, I'm having a rough time here. And this is so, but this is life. Incidentally, when you see me looking to there, it's my prompt sheet because I haven't got the world's best memory. Now, tarot does show the future. It most definitely does. It's set in stone. Your freedom of choice allows you to choose the way you will approach these challenges and accept them. That is your individual prerogative, and it's what God has given you, is this freedom of choice. However, the lessons and things to be met are going to be met one way or another. Now, I would recommend a book here by Aleister Crowley. It's his Book of Thoth. Now, incidentally, Thoth, whilst it looks like it's Thoth, it is not. It's pronounced Thoth. Now, a clearer view. Now, I'm not going to recommend this because it is a monster of a read, and Crowley wrote this book thinking that everybody was a master Therian like himself, and of course we're not. So this book is way above normal reading on a very difficult subject. Now, I would recommend this book. Now, this book is Understanding Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot, and it's by Lon Milo DuQuette. Now, I found this an excellent read. Some like it, some don't, but I found this an excellent read and a simplification as much as possible to a very difficult subject such as the tarot. Now, this is an amazing revision tool, and when you have studied this intensely, and it's a pleasure to do so, then you will start making sense of this one. But if you start with this one, you will give up tarot and turn into a bricklayer or a landscaper. I'm not decrying these jobs. I'm just saying that this is heavy going. So my advice: get this one first. L'Homme de Quête. Okay. Now, I'm going to give an example of the Fool in action. Now, you might be one morning going to or coming from a newsagent's. A complete stranger takes time to spend a little time of day with you. You don't know them, complete stranger. And they might say one sentence to you that is going to completely change your thoughts, your actions, your motivations. In fact, the whole course of your life can be changed from that one sentence. This is called being touched by the Fool. Now, you may never see that stranger again, but the effect he will have on you will be akin to an atomic bomb. Now, Paul Foster Case, who I'm a big fan of, was once asked the question, what are playing cards? Now, again, this was a touching off of the Fool in his life. He went in to discover the tarot and became an adept tarosophist, and also found out that he had occult knowledge from previous lifetimes. Now, this is when the Fool touches you. Also, coincidence. There is no such thing as coincidence. It is preordained. It is set in stone. It's how you accept these things. There is no such thing as coincidence. Now, I'm going to veer away slightly here because this has been on my mind for a while. And I read a comment from a female tarosophist who was replying to somebody, and she said, it is because I am in control of the tarot. The tarot does not control me. Well, this is a nonsense. When you are sitting at a table in the vicinity of a native or client, there is you, the reader, there is the client or the native, and there is the tarot. Now, the tarot always takes center stage. It is the central theme. Now, no matter what tarot deck you are looking at or have, that tarot deck is an entity unto itself. It is its own right, its own self. And it will choose to tell you things. It does not work with embellishments. It doesn't work with emotion. It doesn't work with feeling. It doesn't work with garnish or flavouring. It tells you, or decides not to tell you, various things. Your job as a reader is to interpret what the tarot is telling you to the best of your ability. So this is a deluded opinion that is born out of ignorance. Where are we now? When the cards do tell you something, and sometimes it's grim news, your job somehow or another is to say what you see. And this can be very difficult, and I've had several occasions of this, and compassion has to come to the fore immensely, because it is a very difficult situation. Going back incidentally to the Fool, if that is in certain spread positions, such as an ending, then the tarot is deeming on a lot of cases that you are not to know the outcome for this native, because it is up to them to have the surprise, to have the challenge new to them. So it is saying that you are not allowed to even guess at their future. Now, you can put cards on, and you can put on extra cards and this, that and the other, but then you will get gobbledygook come up, and you all know when gobbledygook comes up. Now, as I said, the Fool is the spanner in the works. It is the unknown. It is the curved ball. But when you are touched by the Fool, it's never boring. I'd like to read another excerpt from Paul Foster Case to finish up on the Fool. And the reason I'm doing this is because this is the last paragraph, and this is the last of the Fool for a little while anyway. Incidentally, if you're hearing any background noise, there's a party going on right behind me, which I'll go and have a look-see when I've finished. Anyway, it goes like this. Before all worlds I was. In all worlds I am. And when words are but a memory, I shall be. Now I can take this as the I was, the beginning, I am, the middle, I shall be, the end. The interpretation is entirely up to yourselves. But it's just another depiction of the Fool. It is something that can't be categorized because it is undefinable. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this video and gleaned something from it, as I can from your comments, providing you don't mention about the glasses bad or the hairstyle or anything like that. But any positive comments, I would look forward to hearing from you. And as I say, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll leave you with my thought, and that is, out of nothing you came, out of nothing you shall return. This has been John. Thanks for listening.